Today, I'm answering a viewer request about a very intriguing and timely topic, the prediction that open alien contact will happen in December of 2025. Now, this viewer wanted to know what the nature of this event was, who or what is behind it, and most importantly, whether the aliens who are making contact can be trusted. So in this reading, I'm going to pull Oracle and Tarot using 6 key questions to find out the energy and the guidance surrounding this prediction. So whether you're curious, concerned, or just enjoy a good mystery, this session's for you. So let's just get started. Hello everybody, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time on this channel. As it says in the introduction, this is a viewer request and it is concerning the prediction. Question 1. What do we need to know about the prediction that open alien contact will take place in December 2025? So we're going to start with the Oracle because it has its own mind, and then we'll get more detail from the Tarot. All right, so let us see. What do we need to know about this prediction? We have the Princess Bride. First glance here is I'm going to say it almost seems like there's a lot of people involved in this situation. A lot of different people. And this could be different races, different, and when I say races, I'm talking human and otherwise. So let's see if I'm correct on this first card. We have Deja Vu. For some, it looks like this is going to seem almost like a repeat of something that, like they've felt that it's happened before. And this Princess Bride could also be, there's maybe a lot of people who will be witnessing this contact, this open contact all over the world. And that many of these people are going to feel as though they've witnessed this before. It's a deja vu event. Ain't no mountain high enough. Let's pull one more and see where that one goes. That one's pretty interesting, actually. It's almost as though it's saying that the first time round, and maybe this deja vu isn't necessarily deja vu. Maybe it's something that actually took place for real previously. And the people who are currently witnessing it are vaguely remembering. I mean, it's a deja vu event for them, like they've been through it before, and perhaps they actually have. Maybe it didn't go so well the first time round. Minority Report. Or maybe it never actually happened yet, not for real. Maybe. There's a lot of maybes here, but nothing is for certain on a prediction, right? With Minority Report, there are psychics that are behind the scenes feeding information to the computer about people who they're seeing commit crimes, right? So maybe behind the scenes, there were some beings who are able to project into the minds of us, humans, and test what's going to happen. Maybe they've seen it. So these beings, or these humans who have been tested upon just to see how things would go, how they would react, they are having a deja vu moment because this has happened for them before. So let's see where else this goes. Spring, Casablanca, and Spirit in the Cup, and Spirit in the Sky. So again, this is what do we need to know about the prediction that open alien contact will take place in December 2025. Now, if we look at the cards, this is almost saying it was spring. And maybe, again a maybe, they tried it for real or thought about trying it for real in early spring. I don't think that actually happened. I almost feel as though the beings who are testing this, okay, that they didn't really understand or care for the response that they received. What they were hoping for is that people would embrace the first contact, or what they believe is first contact. That's what they were hoping for, but I don't think that that's what they got. It was almost as though people couldn't get far enough away or reacted in such a way that they just couldn't take it. And a lot of this has to do with, everybody's personal belief systems. Do you believe in UFOs? Do you believe, in anything outer space, or that we are alone in this universe? What do you believe? Now, I believe they were testing people from all different personal beliefs. But when it comes right down to it, do you expect to see anybody coming out of the sky? Do you expect to see an alien ship like what we see on television or in movies? So let us grab some tarot here. So what we need to know about this prediction is that I think it's been tested in the minds of some people, maybe even in dreams, so that when these people are hearing about this prediction, they're having a deja vu moment of like, man, I swear this has happened before. So let us go a little further. All right, so with Princess Bride, we have Knight of Pentacles. This has been rolled out very, very slowly, this test. I don't know if that means that they took one person at a time and actively put this in their mind to see how they would react, but it's been done very, very slowly. And I also feel like with the Knight of Pentacles that since that is my life quest card, I feel like these people contracted to be a part of this test before they were ever born. So in other words, in spirit, we're saying that alien contact is not unusual. Let's go further. Ten of Pentacles. With the completion of what they did here, with the completion of this literally physical test, mind test, what was left is deja vu, which only gets triggered when a certain situation comes up, such as maybe watching a movie with aliens coming to Earth or having the subject come to mind. So it's never far out of reach. It's never complete in the minds of these people that were tested. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it didn't go well. The initial tests did not go well. People felt, I think things were a little more chaotic than expected. It wasn't like a calm meeting in their minds like what you see perhaps on Star Trek when the Vulcans came to Earth. It wasn't like that. It was very chaotic. Seven of Pentacles. So these beings, all they could do was plant the seed in the minds of these people. Just kind of let them hold on to not all of what they experienced, whether it was a dream or a vision or however it came to them. They don't want them to hang on to the whole thing, but they want to plant the seed that, hey, this is possible. And it could really be a good thing. It could be growth that is very much worthwhile. And we have King of Pentacles. Yes, it could make life even better than what it is now. These aliens, these beings may have something very much worthwhile to offer. But, you know, in man's mind, we always have to stay at the top of the food chain. So, Temperance. I feel like this is saying that there can be a balance. The earth is big enough for aliens to visit, in my opinion, but there has to be a balance. And if the, what do I want to say, the vibration, the frequency of the aliens is not conducive to earth, or not conducive even to the humans who witness it, it probably won't be embraced. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. Boy, that is insane. These are all Pentacles cards. And these are shuffled. They have not been put in any kind of order. And we're just going to double check that. We've got Six of Swords. We've got Strength. We've got the Chariot. We've got the Devil. Two of Cups. And this way. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Seven of Cups, Queen of Swords. Yeah, they're in their own order. But yes, we have all Pentacles here, except for the Temperance card. That's crazy. That's never happened before. So this is literally all about humanity, all about Earth, all about the tangible things that we can touch, our work, our health, our physicality, resources, that kind of thing. That's what I think humans worry about the most with contact with any kind of alien. Because, yes, this is, with the Four of Pentacles, we want to hold on to the way things are. We want to hold on to the structure of our earth. We want to hold on to how humanity is for the most part. And any idea or any possibility of an alien race coming in, because of what we've seen on movies, always puts a little trepidation in us. Always makes it feel like it could be a very bad scenario. All right, so let's get this cleaned up and move on to the next question. So it's not really, I mean, it's not saying it's going to happen. It's not saying it's not going to happen. This was just to find out what we need to know. And again, it seems that they tested their theory. I mean, I'm sorry, but if I was an alien from someplace else, knowing how volatile humans can be, I think I would do these tests as well before ever even considering coming to Earth. Because I think Earth could be a very scary place. In fact, it is sometimes a very scary place, with all the battles and the wars and the just things happening all the time that we have no control over. All right, so let us move on to question 2 here. What is the real purpose or intention behind this contact, if indeed it is going to happen? What is the real purpose or intention behind this contact? We have Devil Woman. And excuse me, but I have coffee sitting over here. Okay. I'm not going to say anything about this one yet. I'm going to pull the next card so I know what direction it's actually going. Because first glance is to say, oh, it's not good. The real purpose and intention is not good. We've got Devil Woman here, but let us... Ball of Confusion. Oh, we got to do this again. We've got to double check with another card. And I think it's saying here that the first initial contact is people are going to take it or automatically panic. I'm going to say panic. Be afraid that, the reason they're here is to hurt us in some way. And that, of course, is, fear always brings confusion, and we have Ball of Confusion here because, as always, chances are we're going to get misleading information, which always causes chaos, always, because those in charge, allegedly, never really give us truths. Okay, so what we know from movies is that it could be a bad thing. Probably is a bad thing because that's what we're always told. But this is saying here with the Prestige, this is an illusion. It is an illusion. That is not the way things actually are. It may be how it's going to be portrayed on the news when somebody's out there doing their report. They're going to make it sound as scary as possible because what sells? All right, and then we have Dances with Wolves. We may not understand, whether it be language, whether it be actions, we may not understand the beings that come. But we can get to know them. We can get to understand. They are not bad, okay? According to the cards, they're not bad. They didn't come to create confusion or chaos. That's just the illusion that our own privileged are putting out there for us, allegedly. But we can learn to live together. And that's not to say that they want to live here. I'm just saying we can learn to get along. We can learn to communicate. Giant. Birdman from Alcatraz. And this Gun for Hire. So this, of course, is going to be Giant. There's no doubt about it that this whole step, it's going to change a lot of things for a lot of people. It will be Giant. But as always, in our culture, there's going to be people who cause issues when it happens. There's going to be people who, because are the privileged, probably already had heads up that this was going to take place. They were ready with the media. They are, well, I'm saying were. They are ready with the media. They are already have the stories written, allegedly, to make sure that it's a terrifying event for those of us not in the know, right? They'll have people already hired for trying to eliminate these beings. And yeah, it'll just be that kind of fiasco. It's the way it's meant to be. But the card in the center is kind of the key here. Their intention, their purpose is literally to come in peace and to communicate with us, just pretty much to get to know who we are and find out if what they see from their vantage point in outer space is factual, that we're violent people, that they don't dare. But these beings want to dare. That's their intention. So let's see where tarot goes with this. And I apologize if you're hearing all kinds of strange noises. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I have a Chihuahua. And my Chihuahua is in his bed next to me protesting because I'm recording and not paying attention to him. So he's making noises, scratching around in his bed and that kind of thing. All right, so we have 10 of Cups. We are going to go through the completion of emotions. Every emotion that could possibly strike us. If we hear on the radio, on the news, on our phones, wherever, if we hear that aliens have landed, we're going to go through every emotion we have. Guaranteed. 9 of Cups. We're going to be hopeful, okay, that nothing bad is going to happen, obviously. And we're going to kind of go back and forth between good emotions and bad emotions. It's going to be a lot of confusion. And again, the privileged, those in the know before us, the media and so forth, allegedly, are going to feed those emotions as strongly as they possibly can. Not the good ones either. Queen of Wands. Yes, whatever we're given to create the illusion, that is not what it is. It's an illusion. It is made up. It is something to entertain. And pretty much that's what media is all about, is to entertain. It is not necessarily truth, right? Allegedly. So with the Queen of Wands, this is our, well, those in the know who are pretending that they care about us and that, you know, it's everything they're doing is in our best interest. This is how they take care of us. They're using everything in their imagination to make this illusion huge. So we don't see this. We don't see the possibility. Justice. Yeah, if you've seen the movie Dances with Wolves, there's not a lot of justice in that movie. Not a lot of justice at all. The Native Americans are basically killed off, so to speak. Despite they wouldn't listen to Kevin Costner in any way about who these people actually are, because those privileged wanted the land. They didn't want anybody different around them. This time, the justice, here's hoping it's different. Here's hoping that we get the opportunity to know who these beings are, get to understand them and communicate with them, and find out that they're not as bad as what they're being made out to be. 5 of Swords. Yes, this is a giant thing, no doubt about it. It is huge, a huge situation, a huge event for humanity. And those in the know, the privileged, are going to do the best that they can to make us believe in our minds that they're anything but good. We have the Death card. Something has to change. That's for sure. Something definitely has to change and or be transformed. This mindset of everything bad, this mindset of the law, this mindset of it has to be transformed somehow. 5 of Pentacles. Because our earth is going to be a mess. We're going to be a mess unless we stop falling for everything that those in the know, the privileged, put our direction. We should know by now that a lot of the things that happen with this card, and, you know, read that right here, happens a lot when they don't like something. They just go in and destroy whosever life they choose to destroy, allegedly. So the intention here, the real purpose and intention from the point of the beings, should they come, is to get to know us. They're waving the white flag going, we want to be friendly. We want to know you. Our own people, the privileged and those in the know, they don't want that to happen. Could mean that we would become more enlightened and less controlled. So let's move forward to question 3 after cleanup here. So if you are enjoying this viewer request video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Perhaps share it with those who might be interested in this topic as well. But I'd love it if you'd comment too, because you might be seeing something in the cards that I'm not. So feel free to comment. I'd love it. And as long as YouTube is letting me know that there's a comment, I will definitely do my best to reply. All right, so question 3. Who or what is truly behind this predicted contact? So I'm going to take this to mean, did somebody just put this out there just because it's not true? Or is it true and being put out there by someone in the know? Was it somebody who received the heads up through their spirit team? Somebody who's in contact with an alien race? Could be a lot of different things. So who or what is truly behind this predicted contact? We have practical magic. So it looks like this came from somebody who does not do things in a practical manner, or it isn't somebody, I don't know how to say this. It's somebody who dabbles in channeling, and maybe it's not a dabble. So, you know, for some people, it's going to be, oh, it's magic. They're doing this because, you know, there's still a lot of controversy over channeling and dowsing and tarot cards and all that stuff for some. Then we have magic. So we're getting practical magic and magic. This magic card is, I feel like, since we see the guy sleeping, I think that this person, whoever they are, has been receiving signs and dreams. And with the signs, it could be music. It could be, yeah, I'm not sure. It's signs of some sort. This person. And this could be somebody who calls themselves a witch. This could be somebody who is new to the craft. It could be somebody who has never thought of themselves as magic. Then we have Clockwork Orange. And of course, there's going to be those who want to condemn how this message has been received and where it came from. They're going to want to do everything that they can to destroy this prediction, to tear it apart and say, no, it'll never happen. This person made it up because, you know, they're using tarot cards, or they're channeling, or none of that is true. And those probably will be people who have been either planted by the privileged ones or believe everything the privileged ones have to say. Yeah, see, we have signs again. It's showing very strongly that the person who brought out this prediction to begin with is getting it through unconventional ways, is getting the information through unconventional ways. Then we have ruthless. I've never been to me. And family. Whoever this person is, the race, beings, whoever is giving them the information is relentless. They are not easing up. They continue to say, this is what's happening. This is the prediction. Get it out there. Problem is, I feel like this person maybe doesn't have a real big self-esteem, or they feel like they're not well known enough to put it out there, to give the information. They feel like they might be laughed at. They feel like they might be condemned. And let's say they have a new YouTube channel. They're afraid it will be basically destroyed because they're not well known enough if they put something like this out there. I don't feel like they had a lot of luck sharing it with family, sharing this information with family. So let's see where tarot goes with this. We have the Knight of Wands. This person actually thinks they have a really active imagination and that they're not really getting the signs and whatnot that they think that they're getting, or the information they think they're getting. Five of Pentacles. I think they wake up feeling very discombobulated physically, like they've been someplace else, or they can't get a song out of their mind. It's kind of driving them nuts. I think, yeah, let's keep going. All right, so Six of Wands. They are afraid that people are going to recognize them and from a channel, or that they're going to be recognized for having too big of an imagination and try to tear them down. Ace of Cups. I think whoever the race is that's using this person, okay, to get this information across, to get this prediction out there, is trying to help them, because I think they're fairly new using their intuition, or they're trying to learn to use their intuition and trying a lot of different ways to do that. So they're not old in the craft. They're kind of coming up new. So they're probably quite open-minded. Five of Wands. I think they're fighting it though, because they almost feel like, because of how ruthless that these beings are, trying to get this across. Hey, we're coming in December. We want to come in December. Tell the world, kind of thing. Get this prediction out there. Tell people that this is happening. Because of that, this person feels very controlled, but they're also so confused. So confused. The Sun. They don't feel as though they're well known enough, or that they can actually get give enough clarity about this. They're feeling very unsure. And these beings want them not only to get it to their family, which, as I say, I don't think that went very well with the Five of Pentacles here. I don't think telling the family went very well. And these beings want this person to tell the world. Now, it's out there somehow. I'm not sure where the person who asked, the viewer who asked for me to do this, I'm not sure where they heard it from. Maybe they are this person. I don't know. So let's pick these up and move on to question 4. So far, we're not finding that there's anything bad about this race of beings. In fact, I feel like they're hammering so hard on this person because they don't want us to be caught unaware. They want us to be prepared or ready for them coming in to meet us. That's how I feel, what the cards seem to be showing. Okay, so moving on to question 4. Can the beings making contact be trusted, or is there a hidden danger? That's a good question. I mean, it might look good on the surface, but do we really know? I mean, everything points to them being friendly. It really does. But if you were an alien race and came, would you be ready for pretty much anything? Okay, Sister Act. Before I say anything, I'm going to pull another one. Practical magic again. Okay, I feel like with Sister Act, in this movie, Whoopi Goldberg is put under federal protection. So she is acting the part. I feel like these beings are going to be on their best behavior, but they're going to be ready to act if necessary. So in a way, they're hiding their less friendly nature. They're keeping it pulled back because they don't want to greet us like that. But I think that they are looking for the open-minded people, the ones who are willing to open up to different ways of being. Those are the ones they're counting on. Those are the ones they're counting on to keep this from blowing up, exploding. They want, I mean, those who have intuition, those who have the more open mind, the higher frequencies, those who are, I don't know, I suppose we could go into star seeds and so forth, but you know who you are. And I think they're counting on that to keep things from going way out of hand, from exploding. And then we have release. Yeah, I do believe with release, they are trying very hard to, they want so much for any kind of terror, anger, hot explosive reactions to be released. They want us to be prepared. And again, wanting to share it with, even if it's more than one person, in the last question, who or what is truly behind this predicted contact, maybe there's more than one person that is getting all this information, that is getting information that there's going to be open alien contact in December of 2025. So they want those people to help release the fear. Let it go. What a feeling. The night they drove Old Dixie down. And 1408. So yeah, what a feeling is releasing inhibitions, releasing the belief that this is not a good thing, that these beings are going to destroy our planet. Release that idea, get rid of it. Because they're not here. It's the night they drove Old Dixie down, but they're not here to tear down our Earth. That's not what they're coming for. That is what the privileged would like us to believe, obviously. That is what they would like us to believe, because if these beings come in, it might end up being a really good thing for us. This is What a Feeling. And it's from the movie Flashdance. If you remember how catchy the song is, and if you've seen the movie, you see her passion and everything as she's dancing. They don't want us to have that feeling. The privileged don't. So they're going to do everything that they can to make sure that we believe it is this huge nightmare, that something horrible is happening to us. They're going to make these beings seem like they are what they're not, and it's these people that they have shared with ahead of time that they are counting on to try and counteract that to the best of their ability. And I think they may have help. They may have magic. They may I'm going to say they may have magic to help salvage the situation. So let's see what tarot says or adds. We have the Page of Swords. This is the student, or the message of the mind. We are students of our thoughts. We are students of our minds. We communicate to ourselves in certain ways. It's being suggested here that we allow our minds to think a little differently today, or for this meeting. Ten of Pentacles. It is the open minds and the magic and being able to do unconventional, what's termed unconventional things. That is the legacy we want for Earth, for humanity. We don't want them to be closed-minded and bookworms that they never get out of the books that are oftentimes not truthfully written anyway, allegedly. Six of Cups. They want us to feel good about our emotions. They want us to feel very harmonious when these beings come. Not like this. They don't want your emotions to go crazy and just have it burn down everything. They want you to go back actually in childhood, and where you could believe anything. And there was nothing bad about it. If you believed in fairies, you believed in fairies. If you believed in witches, you believed in witches. If you believed that the earth was flat, it was flat. When you were a kid, it didn't matter. Your beliefs were yours. Your imagination was strong. Then we have the Ace of Swords. Your mind, our minds are capable of so much. We just need to release all the crap beliefs that have been like stuffed into us. Eight of Cups. If you're getting a feeling of elation, just thinking about this possible meeting in December of 2025, if you're getting a feeling of elation. Don't walk away from that. That's part of the magic. Part of trusting that inner child, that something good is going to happen, that this is not the kind of situation that the privileged would like us to think it is. The moon. Yes, they are, meaning the privileged, are only giving us half-truths. They're not showing us with any clarity, any proof of what they're telling us these beings are going to be like, that they can't be trusted, that they're not giving us any proof. They're giving us plenty of half-truths. And the Ten of Wands, they are pushing our imaginations to the limit, the end. They're literally trying to make sure that we are terrified. Like being in a horror movie, if you've ever seen 1408. They're trying to do that. But we can move the other direction. I'm going to say from this reading here that these beings can be trusted. The only hidden danger isn't the beings. It is the privileged on our own planet. Allegedly. So let us pick these up and move on to question 5. I'm going to quick get a sip here. Just caught it. There are 6 questions, as was said in the intro. All right, so question 5, sorry. How can we best prepare for what may be coming for this open alien contact? How can we best prepare for what may be coming? It's a good question. Half-breed. And don't come after me over this card. This is the title of a song by Cher. Okay, how can we best prepare for what may be coming? I think this is saying realize that we are not the only beings in the universe. We have 2 worlds here. You see at the top, 2 worlds. Don't reject these beings. They have a right to belong. They have a right to exist. Just as we do. And I can't remember if I did the split. But if I did, well, I'm doing it again. The Patriot. Stand up for what you believe. If you believe that everyone has a right to exist, like in this card, then stand up for what you believe in. Fight for what you believe in. And I don't mean going to the bloody scourge that the Patriot movie has. But he was very vocal about his beliefs in that movie. And the reason that he fought was very clear. Then we have teach your children. Yes. Teach your kids that it's okay for other beings, other races to exist. That's okay. The whole point here is we are all alive, okay, and we have to exist somewhere. So why can't we build a future together? Why can't we do as Kevin Costner and the Native Americans did in Dances with Wolves? Why is that not possible? Why is fighting always what has to happen? The Invisible Man. The aliens or the beings have remained invisible to us on purpose because we are who we are. Humans are who they are, and the fighting instinct seems to be there. The power of love, lessons, and fantasy. Love is it's probably the most powerful thing there is. A lot of things have been done in the name of love. Some of them not all that great, okay? Depends on what your definition of love is. This love is unshakable. This is the love for life in general, not just your own, but everybody else's. Animals, insects, other races, aliens, etc. I think they've been, with us for a long time. They just finally want to come out into the open. Maybe they feel like there's enough love on the planet now that people are starting to pay attention. This is the age of Aquarius. That's when things are supposed to change. Pisces, which came before the age of Aquarius, Pisces is has been the keep us all in a cage kind of age. Now, age of Aquarius is opening everybody up. We have so much to learn. And this is a start. It's time to start looking at the higher purpose for Earth, the higher purpose for us. It's time to have a higher vibration, a higher way of thinking. That's how we can prepare for what's coming. We can love our fellow man, not want to destroy our fellow man. And that includes, as I said, animals, insects, beings from outer space. It doesn't really matter. It's time to change Earth's history. So let's see what Tarot has to add. And again, I really do think that they've had people here on Earth and they're blending in. They're basically invisible. And the meeting that they've wanted to have probably for hundreds of years has not taken place, but things are changing here. May not seem like it, but higher frequencies. Wheel of Fortune. There's the change card right there. We need to change how we think. We need to change life on Earth. Ace of Wands. All you have to do is use your imagination, which is, by the way, absolutely unlimited. The potential to your imagination in a good way can be used to solve any problem that we have. Queen of Cups. Yes, teach your children. Nurture them with love. Let them know you care. Let them know you believe in their intuition. Let them know that it's okay to believe in other races, to not believe the worst in everyone they meet. The Emperor. Yes, these invisible people have been waiting for a structure, a stability that they can work with. And I believe the Emperor is actually the Age of Aquarius in this particular card, in these cards. The world, yes, the world is changing. The power of love is starting to energize in a way it never has. Eight of Cups, we can't walk away from these lessons. We can't. It's going to be impossible to walk away. Instead, we're going to be mastering our intuition, mastering our emotions, focusing our emotions on love and acceptance, putting that energy out to the world. Four of Swords. It's time to give this a rest. Give our minds a rest from the anger and the hate and all that seems to control Earth all the time. And not because I think humanity has always had this powerful love, but there's always the privileged that seem to feed on the hate and the fighting and the anger and the money and the power and so on and so forth, right? It's time to change that way of thinking. Give it a rest. Move into another way of being. All right, so we're going to move on to the last question here. So that is how we can prepare for what's coming. Be ready to welcome, not to fight. Be ready to show who humanity really is. What the privileged do not want anyone to know. Alrighty, we're almost there. Almost. All right, last question. What might happen afterward if this contact does take place? I'll do that again. What might happen afterward if this contact does take place in December of 2025? This open alien contact prediction. The Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's saying that we will be, well, first of all, they'll be our biggest fan. But I think that's saying that we will be meeting a lot of different beings after the fact. If this open alien contact does take place and it goes well. We have Guardians of the Galaxy. And the saying that you always hear is you can't make this stuff up. The cards come out at random. Okay, and we have Volcano. Going to pull another one before I talk about that one. Mainly because in my mind, what's coming into my mind is that there's going to be a lot of really angry people. And I don't think it's your typical human. I think, again, it's the privileged, but Casablanca. Okay, yeah, I think it is. A volcano causes a lot of destruction. A volcano is extremely hot. A volcano erupts as though it has so much rage within it. It just can't hold that magma and has to spew it out and send it wherever. And I feel as though that's kind of going to be what happens, not to the earth, okay? I feel like this is the privileged are going to erupt. We're supposed to love them, not them. Their power, their anger, their power, they're going to release it in a horrifying kind of way. I'm losing them. There we go. War. Yeah, see, they think that we should, and this doesn't necessarily mean this is going to be an actual all-out war by any stretch of the imagination. But human existence may change because these people do not want to give up their power. They do not want to give up their power. Top of the world, radio, and no. So, the Guardians of the Galaxy, they may very well go to war with the privileged here on Earth. They may. They know what humanity is meant to do, okay? And Top of the World goes along with the Age of Aquarius. It goes along with our ascension to the fifth dimension, or wherever the ascension is supposed to take place, where we are light beings, where we have to be able to get off of planet Earth with that love frequency, okay? These are aligned frequencies. We are aligned with the best, aligned with our soul. We are aligned with our soul at the top of the world. We no longer need war. We no longer need anger. We no longer, we don't even need one another in a physical manner. Our frequencies are aligning with what these alien beings have apparently known for a long time. And if you are a Star Trek fan, you know in most of these Star Trek, not necessarily the original, but all of them since then, it's been the Prime Directive. It's been they're out to explore but not destroy. Okay, they don't have money. They don't have famine. They don't have anything like that anymore because they understand that everyone has a right to live and everyone belongs where they belong. So that's where they're trying to get us and help us get to. It's time to tell these people no. Look at how big that no is. We cannot miss it. And what happens when you tell a toddler no? And they want something so bad. What happens when you tell them no? They have this huge tantrum. Huge tantrum. But we have, through these aliens that may be making contact in December. It's going to depend, literally, it's going to depend upon whoever they've sent to live among us, that invisible man that was in the previous question. It's going to depend upon them. They're going to say to their people, okay, now is the time. I think it's safe enough for you to come. It's going to be very much dependent on that invisible or those invisible people. The ones that have been living here and know how we are, know what's going on Earth, and whether or not we can get things moving forward, or they can help us get things moving forward as they're meant to. So let's see what tarot has to offer or to say here. We have Seven of Pentacles. The seed was planted a long time ago by aliens, a long time ago, but they've been so patient, patiently waiting. Eight of Wands. I think patiently waiting for the news that the privileged no longer master our world, are no longer masters of our world. I think that's what they've been waiting for. King of Cups, that we have decided that we are the ones who can master our own emotions, our own lives. We can structure our own way of living. We can control our own emotions. We can control whether we're angry. We can control as individuals, not what the privileged wanted or want. Nine of Pentacles. Yes, we don't need war. We don't need somebody to tell us that this person has no right to exist. We don't need that. We don't need somebody to be empowered. We need to make life good for ourselves. With the Nine of Pentacles. Ooh, dropped it. We have the Emperor. Yes, we need to be our own emperor. We need to be able to control, as with the King of Cups, we need to be able to control our own lives and to align our frequency with the most powerful being of all, and that would be Source, right? Whatever you believe in. With our higher selves, with whatever you believe in as the most high good for yourself. That's who we need to align with. Three of Wands. In this case, this is the growth of the imagination. This is the frequency that raises us up so high, where we can reach a place where we don't have to ever worry about war again. But we need to know that these beings, they are good, and they are wanting to be here to defend us. King of Pentacles. Yes, this is saying no to controlling who we are on this earth. We need to control ourselves. We have the king, we have the king, we have the emperor. This is encouraging us to take control of our own lives, joining with other beings, other people, being a part of that, aligning our frequency with what we've always been meant to be. So what might happen after this? The privileged and the aliens, the beings, I think if there's going to be a war, it will be between them. But they're going to do the best that they can do to protect humanity. We have to also do our part. So that is what we have for this viewer request reading. Remember, it was about a prediction that open alien contact was going to take place in December of 2025. I cannot tell you timing with the cards. It's not accurate for me. Might be for somebody else, but I don't do it because I don't feel like it's accurate. So if it takes place in December, it's going to be because the Invisible Man card, those people who are here, are aliens and are here living among us right now, trying to figure out whether it is time. It's going to be their decision. So it may be December, it may be longer. It depends on what they feel, what they see, what they hear. Yeah. So no matter when they come, I think the reading is valid in all questions, no matter when they come. So maybe keep that in mind. So thank you, viewer, for this question. It's been very fascinating. I hope the rest of you have enjoyed it as well. Make sure that if you have any requests of your own that you would like me to look into, put it in the comments. And don't forget that I do a series. I've put the show schedule on the screen for you. So that's it. We will see you again in hopefully another viewer request. So until then, take care.